track.
If you ain't talking money, then I don't want to talk.
Still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slam them. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slam them. Tell them still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slam them. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slam them.
Hey, y'all. This is another episode of We-On-Loc Nation. And I just want to say thank you very much once again for the support throughout the years. Can't say thank you enough. 2,000 subscribership is it's an achievement. It's an achievement to me. Many different. I can't shit on anybody else because they make their content their way. I mean, content creators. I go with the brilliant content creators of the world, and I say, you got talent. So others, it's just like you're based on controversy. But hey, yes, if you can make it work, you can make it work. But with my situation, I'm humble. I'm humble and I'm thankful. But with that being said, I just wanted to switch it up real quick. And I've been hearing a lot of things as of late. And Lisa or anybody can testify to this, but I've been hearing little rumors of Donald Trump going through some stuff as it pertains to health. He's pulling a Joe Biden, so to speak. He's pulling the Joe Biden. Now, I'm not saying that he can't read a teleprompter or he's going to like pass out or anything, but they're keeping Trump on a swivel right now. And there are little rumors that saying that he's going through some health issues. We don't know. We're just speculating. This is just alleged, so to speak. But meantime, in between time, you got, is he going to release the Epstein files? No, he is not. He's not going to release anything because, again, he says it's a hoax, but we all know that everything to him is a hoax. Everything him is not true. Everything is fake news when it comes to this sort of stuff. So without further ado, and there's a lot of crash outs, and rightfully so. With the economy going on the fritz, everything going up, constantly going up. We've been made promises. Promises are not being kept. The whole world is in turmoil, and we still hate Umar. We're still doing content on Umar. Whatever. All I got to say is if you find yourself and I don't wish this upon anyone. If you find yourself getting robbed one day, you'll know why. If you find yourself getting robbed one day, blame Trump for that. Um, that's all I'm gonna say on that. But let's see what's going on with this whole Epstein. I kind of ignored it for a bit because people are victims nowadays. But in this case, in this situation, when it comes to Hollywood, Holly weird, when it comes to the casting couch, shit is surreal. Shit is surreal. So we're gonna look at a couple of things that I currently missed throughout the times, arguing with people about Ifatunde. So let's get into this. We're just gonna do some reviews. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And again, we are doing I'm doing a $30 campaign. We're trying to raise $30, but now we're trying to raise 20. Trying to raise $20 for whatever reason why I'm raising $20 for. I totally forgot. But we're just trying to raise $20 to the coffee. Oh yeah, the coffee fund. Trying to raise $20 for the coffee fund. We already raised. I said 30 last night, but somebody put a 10 in. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ali, for putting in that 10. So now we got 20 left. So if you are gracious in trying to help a brother out through Super Chat or Cash App, I would be gladly appreciated. If not, I appreciate you anyway. So let's get into this shit.
Hands here. If you or somebody you love was abused or trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell, all of you. So given that, you are here together, the 9 of you in this room, in this what feels like a show of solidarity. Why? Why did you decide to come here today? Jess?
I'm coming here because there's been a severe miscarriage of justice, a delay in accountability, and we've all come together beautifully and tragically, which feels healing and devastating all at the same time, to speak out and to be fueled by each other's voices in a way that I don't know that we've had the opportunity to in the past.
Here's what my question is. Why now? I mean, let me know if I'm being a little too, if I'm being too harsh or I'm being disingenuous, or just let me know. But I just need to know, out of all the Epsteins, the Kevin Spaceys, who's that dude from Home Improvement? I forgot what his name was. Why now? Why all of a sudden? Why this? Why come out now? I mean, I can understand him, but you did this to Bill Cosby. You did this to Bill Cosby, and Bill Cosby is blind in both eyes. He's handicapped, his disability. He's homebound. And you did this to him. But years later, now you want to come out with Epstein?
Mm-hmm. Beautifully said. I'm here for the same reasons, but for me, the most important thing is accountability. My whole mission is to get somebody, or the majority of the people, to be held accountable for what they did and what we've all been suffering through for the last 15, 20 years.
Marika, you're somebody who has spoken publicly about your experience before. Mm-hmm. What does it mean to you to be sitting alongside 8 other people in telling your story and in being here?
I mean, today, I didn't think I would be here 6 years later from when I was here in 2019. I guess I'd just like to say that, a farmer reported this in 1996, and now there's a pending lawsuit where hopefully there will be some accountability.
Yeah. Lisa, how about you?
I'm here once again
Do this again and again. Did you ever think you'd have to?
No. I mean, in 2019, when I spoke up and went public on what had happened to me in 2003 at 14 years old, was something that I should have never had to have done in my life. It should have been taken care of and handled from the beginning and been investigated properly so we wouldn't have had to be at this point, I should have never had to put my face on camera so that someone would listen to me.
I'm just saying. And again, I'm sensitive to certain things, but hear me out. When I say why now, at 14 years old, why didn't you tell your parents? I mean, again, I want to be able to understand these things. Because again, you didn't do this when you did this with Bill Cosby. 40 years later, Janice says she was great by Bill Cosby. Now we got 14 and 30. I assume that they were teenagers when this whole Epstein thing began to arrive, but I'm just trying to understand this. Why now?
Mm-hmm. I want to first get to Sky and Amanda and Danny, who are here representing your sister, Virginia Giuffre. Danny, Sky, what message does it send to be here with this group in this, what, as Liz described, this almost show of strength?
Dang, he looked distraught.
She should be here. I am so honored to be here with you guys. She would be here. She'd be screaming, And I think, they said it best. It's like, if I could really say what we're looking for out of this is justice, looking for accountability. And I think it's, we really have to start questioning, what do we stand for? So, it means the world to be here with you, all of you. And what's really, they have to listen now.
Some of you had.
Why now? That's what I'm trying to get at. You had ample time to put this bum behind bars. Did he pay you? Did he pay you money? Did he rape? Did he do some strange for a little piece of change? What did he do to make you silent for this long? If those were my kids, I would have been so upset. But we're talking. We're just going to call this the casting couch. And this is not, and just for the record, this is not just this panel here that were victims. There were other victims, including this one. But these are the people who finally decide to come out after all these years and claim the victim. Now, I'm not dissing the victims because obviously something tragic happened. But I'm saying it's kind of what they say nowadays. It's kind of disingenuous to come out with all this, this victimhood stuff. And it's like, it's 2025. Like, why now? Maybe, just maybe somebody else can explain it. I mean, I wouldn't expect like a Bill O'Reilly to say anything gracious or say anything or put some type of grace on this, because Bill O'Reilly's a piece of shit. But I would expect somebody to come up with something a little bit more something explanatory. You know what I mean? But let's continue.
Not met before today. Am I right in understanding that?
Mhm.
This is your first time for some of you meeting each other.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
No.
And Wendy, yeah, take a beat.
on camera.
No, because this is your first time. You have never before spoken publicly about your experience.
Correct.
I'm going to ask you to share some of your experience now. What were your interactions with Jeffrey Epstein? What can you tell us?
My interactions, if you guys have followed or know Jenna's story, Jenna is one of my best friends from middle school, I would say. And it's pretty much the same story in that aspect. How old were you? I was 14.
And how did you first encounter either Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell?
Through friends. It was very normal, I guess. Through friends.
And where were you? This was in Florida?
Yes.
And did you go to the home in Palm Beach? Can you tell me a little more about that?
Yes, I went to the home in Palm Beach.
Okay. And what were you involved in there? What did he ask you to do?
I'm not really comfortable answering that.
Okay.
It's the same as if you follow the story, you know what I was asked to do.
How did you extract yourself from this abuse?
I moved very quickly. My family moved me out of Florida, so I exited that world and had no access to it, thankfully.
And how did you cope with that trauma?
You just put it behind you and don't think about it.
Is that what you did?
Yeah, until it was brought up that, hey, this is a big deal in 2019, I think. This is a real big deal and it's your truth. So here's what's happening.
They could have done so much to cover, not them. Epstein and all these predators could have done so much to cover this up. They could have done so much. What I'm saying, to wait this long, it is flabbergasting to me. Very much flabbergasting. Again, I feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for the victims. And not them playing a role, but some of them were being forced to be playing roles. How could her parents be like? It's the same reason, right? And I hate bringing his name up. It's the same reason why R. Kelly's victims, and I would say it wasn't necessarily his fault, but it was the parents' fault. The parents thought they had a gold mine. Remember that? They thought they had a gold mine in their children because they had a voice and they can actually sing. And what did they do? They gave their child away for a couple of dollars. That is pure evil in itself. But again, if you're going to put him on trial and you're going to put him away behind bars, you're going to put Epstein behind bars. Oh, I'm sorry. He's allegedly deceased. Allegedly. Isn't Kevin Spacey next? I guess we'll find out, right?
And that's
It sounds like you almost buried Jeffrey Epstein's memory, his name.
absolutely.
And all of a sudden, all these years later, here it comes back in the public spotlight again. Well,
Yeah,
good for you.
it's so I had never really thought about it, I guess, because I just put it behind you, didn't talk about it, didn't think about it, nothing. And it was kind of like okay, now you have to heal from this. Now you have to address it and face it for the first time ever. Like, this is real.
It's almost like you're in denial, maybe?
No, at that point, like I'm 30, I had moved on. I had a career, you know, a family. And now it's like, okay, well, it's the truth and it's my truth. So it's time to start processing through that.
At the time, did you tell any of your family members what had happened to you with Epstein?
At that time, no.
After, did you?
No.
When did you finally tell? If you have, I assume at this point, told family members.
Yes. I told pretty much after everything was in motion.
Meaning the cases in the investigation.
I had decided that I was going to pursue it. So I had to complain to people and be like, hey, I did this and I don't know what's going to happen, but it is true.
Did you reach out to law enforcement at that point?
No. I was contacted through the puzzle pieces that they put together to connect victims to victims to victims. I was on the bulletin board somewhere.
And here you are all these years later, sitting in this room with these other women, with these other family members. Why now? Why are you deciding to speak and to share your story now?
Because not everybody is getting justice. And that's not right. Just because you think that some victims in their mind got justice, that it's not right. The everyday person is out there, and that's me. And we're victims. You could be, you know, your neighbor could be a victim, and you don't know it. The person you pass in a grocery store, and they're not talking. And I think that, like she said, power in numbers. Even if I'm just counted as statistically in numbers as another victim, that's enough for me. They're not protecting our youth. They're continuing to allow the same thing that happened to us is happening still. Maybe not with. I took my time in saying something, and I've always been in contact with Jenna. I had a young daughter trying to start my career. It was a big shock to my husband. So I took the time and I said when I felt like I was ready, you know, it's not a secret. It's just something that I didn't normally talk about.
Yeah.
So now I'm ready to say, you know what, if I am the everyday Joe Schmo and I have this story, I know I want to be able to inspire other people to say, hey.
Guess what? She ain't the only one. She is not the only one that, and clearly she will not be the last. You come out with your story finally after 25 years and say this person did. People need to stop doing that. People really need to stop doing that. And especially in the Black community, y'all really need to speak up. If you're going through something, if you're going through trial through fire, if somebody touches your child, what do you do? If somebody touches your child inappropriately, do we have to say it? Do we have to analyze it? Do we have to like have church meetings to figure? Oh well, this person did. Well, we should do it in this way. We should do it. No. Off with your head. Medieval times. You should be held accountable. Whoever it is, brown, black, white, whoever. You should be held accountable. Now, push comes to shove. At one point in time, I think we had our own laws, or Constitution wasn't even developed back then, but we had our own. But there were medieval laws. I call them medieval laws back then. Where if you did something, you were tried upon and you basically were beheaded. I mean, people need to read, but people need to read up on not Billie Jean Davy. What was it? I said it yesterday. Joan of Arc. Read the story. Read the story about Joan of Arc. Now, Joan of Arc was a rebel. Joan of Arc was a rebel, but people called her a demon for a reason. Now I'm not saying, why are you holding her account? I'm just saying how it was back then. She wasn't a terrible person at all. She was helping she was helping particularly the armies of that time back then. But when they found out that she did some witchcraft bullshit, they tied her up to the stake and burned her alive. That's what we need to be doing into these terrible people. But we got laws, we got constitutions, we got this and we got that. Let's see what Jasmine Crockett has to say about all this terrible nonsense.
Person that has never come forward before today. This was the very first time that she was telling anyone in a semi-public way her story. And if I had to summarize, they actually want to see some action. The fact that this started off in the 90s, and we had some, then you go down the line there from because of how sophisticated of a system this was. And this wasn't just one little sick old man that was doing stuff, but there were so many layers, whether we're talking about the banks that were involved, whether we're talking about those that worked for him, that helped him, whether we're talking about the monster known as Maxwell. And that's exactly how y'all need to refer to her. She is a monster. She is not a victim. So let me tell you, I want some action items to come out of this, because for once we somewhat look like we're bipartisan in the oversight committee. Number one, we need answers. We need answers on why it is that Maxwell was transferred from her current station or her former station in Florida down to Texas. We need to have an understanding, because everything that I heard today leads me to know that for sure she was all up and in and through this entire process.
I just want to say for the record, she needs to be my lawyer. I will pay her handsomely for her to be my lawyer.
Not to mention that she was indicted by a jury of her peers, and then she was tried and convicted and given 20 years. So why is it that we had somebody, again, it almost seems like we are doomed to repeat our failures, because why is it we have high-level people that seemingly are running cover for a criminal? And that is what she is. She is a monster and she is a criminal. So number one, we need answers on what happened with that transfer, why it took place. And honestly, we all need to stand together and say that Maxwell needs to go back to where the monsters go, which is to a higher level of security. We also need to understand that Debbie Wasserman Schultz has legislation that she has been trying to push forward. And so in a bipartisan way, we all need to get behind Debbie, because we found, and what we learned is that there were loopholes as it relates to the Crime Victims Act. And so we've got to make sure that no other victims suffer in the way that they did when you have somebody like Asta that decides that he wants to play games and dismiss a case and never inform the victims of what's going on as is required by law. So we are going to have to fix those loopholes.
So why don't the president just come out with I'm not saying a very small percentage, mind you. I'm not saying little its and bits and pieces of the. Come out with the entire thing. No, that's too much like right. And quite frankly, suspicious. It's suspicious.
Make sure that doesn't happen, because it took them 10 years of fighting this, and ultimately by the time they got to the end of it, well, it also was Jeffrey Epstein's in, and so there was not a resolution for that. And the final thing that I think that we need to do is, obviously, we need to continue to push forward and make sure that we get all the files, because we know that we have
not some of the files, not little its and bits and pieces of those files, all of it. All of it. I'll bet you it's like 500 victims involved. Allegedly. 500 victims.
not receive them all. Because I am standing in front of the press, I'm also going to make a plea. One of the things that I realized was no investigation, and I can't say if we had a thorough investigation or not. We have no idea. But the reality is that when you have investigators that go out and they collect information. I am not necessarily convinced that they even have gone out and done their due diligence to fully investigate this case in the first place.
Of course not. These suckers are being bought off. Why do you think it took this extent? Why do you think it took so long? Lisa, this is your fault. This is your fault. You got me into this. Now I got to do some investigating.
So if there's anyone in the public that believes that you have information that would be valuable to get, and you bring that information to us, or if you know where some information is contained, let us know so that we can then send subpoenas out that way. We want to do right not only by those that have already suffered under Epstein, but we want to prevent other trafficking rings that we know are out there. We want to make sure that we are doing right for future generations.
Ooh. Ooh. But like I said, why now? Why now? Well, I'm gonna be playing. Now I'm gonna be playing. Please don't get triggered by this. Please don't get triggered by anything Bill O'Reilly says. Don't get triggered by it. Or even Stephen A. Snitch. Yes, I said Stephen A. Snitch. They were on some particular program and talking about this very same thing. Let's check it out. I gotta find out how to do editing. Anybody know how to edit? I don't know yet. Anybody know how to edit? I can figure out how to edit.
Talk about something that's totally irrelevant to the success that we've had as a nation since I've been president.
I don't know that is going to sell, but let's ask some better minds, okay? I assembled for you tonight. Bill O'Reilly and the one and only Stephen A. Smith. They're with me for the whole hour. Gentlemen, thank you very much for that. It's good to have you both. Stephen A. took the time to come in and be next to me, so I'm going to go to him first because that's my prerogative. Stephen A., it's good to have you. It's good to have you both.
See.
Epstein's not going away. What do you think of the president's play today and what needs to happen?
I think the president spewed a lot of drivel when he said that, it's a Democratic hoax. You can't say that when Marjorie Taylor Greene is up there saying that. You can't say that when guys like Steve Bannon is up there saying that, along with others that have been staunch supporters of him. This is an important issue, obviously, to a lot of people, a lot of folks that supported him post. It's something that Pam Bondi promised. It's something that Cash Patel promised. It's something that a bevy of Trump supporters have promised for quite a long time. And Trump certainly never did anything to dispel or to diminish the noise that they were making in any way. And so now that he's in office and he's called upon to show, may have in their possession and reveal what is indeed in those Epstein files, assuming there are Epstein files, he's got to address it, because there are people that are a part of his administration. Dan Bongino, let me not forget that name as well. All of these people were talking about the Epstein files, the Epstein files, the Epstein files. The one thing that Trump doesn't get to do at this particular moment in time is in the Democrats. For they may be doing their share in terms of pouncing on it and trying to instigate matters to some degree, but trust me, they're not the big culprits in all of this. These people that support Trump have spoken vehemently about their desire to have these files revealed, and people within his own administration said, we got something to show you, and they didn't show the American people, and everybody's remembering, and they're not going to let it go.
And Bill, in political philosophy, there's something called a Hobson's choice, which is something where there's actually really no choice at all. And I feel like this is shaken up to be one of these, not because the president, of all the things that the president sold that I believe have no basis, he was not selling this one. but it was sold for him, and now people believe something to know. How do you get satisfaction in this if you are this administration?
Pretty tough because this is a very tedious story for me. I didn't even cover it tonight on the No Spin News. And before I get into why, I'm going to tell you your monologue on the Holocaust assertion was excellent, because that's not what's happening in Israel. It's not even close. But it ties in a little bit to the Epstein story. People believe what they want to believe. This whole Epstein thing was resurrected for one reason: to try to pin some criminality on Donald Trump, some connection with Epstein. That's why you didn't hear about it during the Biden administration, even though Bill Clinton.
We ain't gonna play with this today. Y'all were partners. Bill O'Reilly will not admit it, simply not just because he's white, simply not because they're buddies with each other, because they are, but simple fact that he's not going to come out with anything real. White folks do this all the time. They sit with their buddies in these $1 million meetings, or these yacht clubs or whatnot. I know the game, man. I know the game. Donald Trump is your partner. He's your friend. Has been your friend for many, many years. You ain't gonna tell no story. I'm surprised you didn't die yet. Let me not say that.
Clinton's prominently involved with this. You hear a word. No Democrats were outraged. Nobody was demanding anything. Number two, I don't even know what the files are. Nobody knows what they're holding back. Are they holding back anything? Is there a big analysis? I don't know. And Congress is right to get involved and say, well, look, we want to know to make sure that there isn't any miscarriage of justice. So we're going to ask for every piece of paper to be given to an independent counsel. I'm sorry, I hate that word too.
Yeah, me too.
Everything, and that person would then analyze it and come up with a report. That's the only fair way to do it. But remember something. The hatred against Donald Trump skews everything. Trump used the wrong word by saying hoax, not a hoax. It's pettifogging. And Stephen A., that's the word of the day, and he knows what it means. You take any accomplishment from Donald Trump.
Again, with white folks, it's a hoax. It's a hoax. It's not true. It's fake news, blah, 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 blah. People, read between the lines. It's not Donald Trump alone that's saying this. It's the people backing him, people telling him what to do, true people are in power, telling this man what to do, what to say, and how to say it. Otherwise, why would they elect him? Why would they choose him? Out of all people to choose, why Donald Trump? Why? Ask yourself that question.
Anything. You're not going to acknowledge it if you are a Trump hater or a Democrat, a Diane Wall. So, in order for every other thing to go away, you slap the most sensational thing up top. Finally, the victims. They're not doing this properly, all right? The people who were abused by Jeffrey Epstein. They should have an attorney representing them. And if they have a list of so-called abusers, those people should be sued. All right? That's how you do this. You don't say we're going to go out for dinner and make up a list, or have a list, not make it up, but have a list, and then we might put it out. That's not how you do it.
Yeah, but I don't know that there's a rule book.
There's way too much emotion.
I get it, but this is an emotional thing because you've got sexual assault of underage people and young people and vulnerable people. The only pushback, as a matter of fact, is the reason that Bongino and those guys were selling this wasn't to corner Trump. It was to corner Democrats, and it was to corner the elites, and that this was going to be the way to take down the people who escaped the system.
Neither of you are wrong on what you're saying. I'm certainly in no position to question the veracity of it all. What I'm saying is this. When you hear Pam Bondi, when you had heard her speak in the past, she indicated she has possession of the files.
On her desk.
You're about to see it. It's on the desk. We can't escape that, Bill. See, that's where Trump gets himself, I won't say in trouble, but that's where he gets himself in the eye of the storm, even though they're targeting him to some degree, and you could always make that argument when it comes to the Democrat. It doesn't negate the fact that people in his own administration said they were in possession of it. We know what we have, and we're going to make sure that you know sooner than later.
Then why wasn't it just put it on the big teleprompter screen? Who was responsible for what? Just open the files, man. Open the files.
And then they don't do it. Now, come on now. You can't do that. That's what happened, Bill.
And they keep doing it. They did it with Kennedy. They did it with Dr. King. They did it with UFOs. But go ahead, Bill.
Right after Ms. Bondi said that, I said she should clarify the statement and she should do it tomorrow.
Yep, you were right.
And then why she doesn't is a mystery of the universe. I don't know why.
Hold on, breaking
Trump
news.
doesn't want
She didn't listen to Bill O'Reilly? Is that what you're saying on national television? That she did not listen to you?
Has she not read the books?
What?
Number one best-selling nonfiction author of all time.
Yes.
Second only to the Bible.
That's right. How about that?
I mean,
I'm just saying, there were a lot of guys, right? And there was a lot of guys. There were a lot of guys writing the Bible. I'm just a loner.
All by yourself.
By the way,
Stephen A. Snitch belongs in that class. I don't even know why. I don't even know why he was invited to this little sad ass party. I really don't know why. He's damn near 60 years old. He got banked. It's a damn shame. Capitalist should be his middle name. Stephen Capitalist Smith. I get it. I totally get it. I mean, you've been trying to find your lane for a very long time. Right? Believing in a piece of shit like Bill O'Reilly. Y'all must be friends too, but you know how they treat niggas.
I open up Confronting Evil, which will be out next Tuesday, with the October 7th raid on the Israeli settlement. That is the forward of the book to define what pure evil is in a very contemporary way. This isn't just about Genghis Khan. But getting back to President Trump, there are things that the president does that I don't understand. And I think I have probably one of the closest relationships of any media person with him. Hannity has the closest, okay? But he's never lied to me. I did ask him, are you going to release it? He said, yeah, and he didn't seem to be perturbed by any of it. So he could clean it up. The best way to clean it up is to hand over every piece of paper the Justice Department has to a special counsel, and then have a time limit on the counsel's report, not 3 years from now. That is the best, most methodical way to clear this up.
You're right.
But you knew he wasn't going to release it. That's why you're saying that, because you knew deep in your heart, and he's never going to admit this, but if he was right before a council of our choosing and say, do you believe that this man was going to release the files? And if he said yes, he would be lying. Because why would he say it's a hoax? Why would he say that? It's not important. We've been doing very great things. You're not going off of a prompter. You're going on for what the elitists are telling you.
Let's add this to it. And for once, don't blame the Democrats for everything. That goes to that.
No, the Democrats want to hang Trump.
Let me say what I mean.
Wrong.
Yeah, but they didn't
They
start
want to pin
this.
it right around his neck.
I know they do, but what I'm saying is to do what you suggested, but in the same breath,
Right.
not go that route in terms of pointing the finger at them, because people in his own administration opened their mouths and said something that was inconsistent with what he's saying.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Out of the show in the chat, put a 1 in the chat if you think that the president is going to finally release sometime this year. He's going to release the Epstein files. Put a 1 in the chat if you think he's going to do it. Put a 2 if you think he's not.
Let's be honest, Stephen A.
Of course we're being honest.
Let's be honest. You're a straight shooter. The motivation of the Democratic Party and the hate Trump cadre
Totally
is to
true.
tie criminality around Trump's neck.
Totally true.
Not
Totally
to
true.
know what the victims went through.
Okay, that's fair.
Not to sympathize with the victims.
That's
they
it.
don't give a hoot about the victims. They want to bring Trump down.
Collectively, as a body, I totally agree with you. Individually, there are some sprinkled in that have a core decency about them.
Democrats-
And I wouldn't castigate on them all that
The
way.
Democrats and everyone calling for transparency have high ground. Anyone who reduces the relevance of what the victims have to say or the existence of what was promised has low ground. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now on
Sorry, me. Trump's a piece of shit. Bill O'Reilly's a piece of shit. Stephen A. Snitch is a piece of shit. Hey, Philly. And for those of you who believe that Trump had your best interest at heart and you're the ones that voted for him, y'all piece of shit too. Because look where our economy is at. Just look where we're at right now. We're dead last in pretty much everything. Dead last in everything. And what about Trump? Trump lied and say he was gonna. I had no problem with releasing the Epstein files. 3 years later, he releases a snippet of the Epstein files, and some people ended up coming forth anyway. But I don't have a problem with you coming forth. The problem is, why now? Why now after all this time, after all these years? People don't want to, just like the 31 count, there's 31 or 34 counts that Trump has. The 31 or 34, whatever, how many counts it is, he's in office. People chose him. These elitists chose this man. And for what? This is chess, not checkers. We should all know by now the reasons why. How is it relevant? Why? The Great Reset. I want you to think about that. The Great Reset. It wasn't going to be under Obama necessarily. It was going to be under somebody who necessarily gets the people routed up. God dang it. Now I'm gonna have to do some deep diving into this. Thanks, Lisa. Thanks for that. I was doing just fine with Umar content. Just thanks. Thank you. Now, this younger generation, what do I want to say? This younger generation is crashing out socially. I don't know if I worded that right, but let's just say, for example, you got a lot of these conservatives, a lot of these conservatives, a lot of these liberals coming out and fighting amongst each other socially. Just imagine if they were fighting physically, not socially, because I don't do the social thing. Lisa and everybody else is getting me into this social shit. I don't have the patience for it. I'm just gonna tell you up front. We-On-Loc Nation does not have the patience to talk social shit with any other liberal or any other conservative. If you're wrong, you're wrong. I literally have my hands are literally choking you. But people say, you gotta be logical. You gotta be logical about this. You can't just yell at everything. Yell and scream at her, which I don't yell. No, I don't yell and scream at her. Oh, a few little measly people. I gotta be logical about everything. Like, that's what you got Jasmine Crockett for. That's what you got Cory Bookham for. Speaking of Cory Bookham, that's what you got these people for. And this is what you got this next person for. And do like and share and subscribe. I almost forgot to tell y'all. Brownie, Ellie, go to Brownie's channel and go ahead and support this woman. Support. Let's get Brownie Ellie to 1,000. Let's get Brownie Ellie to 1,000. I don't care how you do it or what you do. Please get it to 1,000. Yell at what you want. But like I said, we got people crashing out. And Reese Waters. Please subscribe to Reese Waters. Now, without further ado, this is what I mean about this socialism shit. But this individual is basically given the business when it comes to Donald J. Trump. He is given the business. I don't even know how I came to, well, let me not speak on it. Let's just get to it. Let's get to it. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Let me see.
She's got to fix. She didn't do anything as the vice president.
Name one thing any vice president has ever done in American history.
Wait, what? We're not talking about them. We're talking about.
Oh, yes, we are. Name one thing that
Trump,
any vice president has ever done in American history.
Oh, man, that's. I mean, Joe Biden was president or vice president.
And what did he do? What's one thing he did?
Hey, he posted on Twitter that they got Bin Laden. He was the first one to do it. That was pretty G.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty awesome.
Okay, Beanie, thank you for the galaxy. So the best you could give me is a singular tweet. Okay, so obviously you're not too educated on anything that any vice president has ever done in American history. So when you tell me that you supported the rapist fascist over Kamala Harris in the election because you don't think that she did much as VP, all that you're really telling me is that you're ignorant, you're not well researched, and you just superimposed your ignorance onto her to demonize her instead of turning around, checking yourself, and maybe just seeking an education. Like, if you can name like a handful of things like prior VPs have done outside of Kamala Harris, and then argued that she had done nothing, then I would have responded and been like, that's false. She passed more tie-breaking votes than any other VP in American history and worked alongside the Biden-Harris administration, passing the most monumental domestic policy like the Chips and Science Act, Infrastructure Bill, PACT Act, etc. But because you can't name anything that any other VP in American history did, this just more so speaks towards your own ignorance compared to a legitimate argument.
So because I can't name something off the top of my head about some previous vice president, that means she would have been better than Trump?
No,
is that your argument?
It means that
that's kind of ridiculous, right?
It means that your argument isn't rationally founded, but rather based on your own ignorance. So why should I honor and give credence to a position that's based on ignorance, not rationale?
I guess, like, I don't even know how we got down this route, because your question is, why do you support Trump?
Right. And that is.
Right. Right. And how did we get to this?
Yeah, because you told me that you support him because Kamala
Because you like to
didn't do
deflect.
anything when she was VP. And then I demonstrated to you with the use of a counter argument that the reason you think she didn't do anything as VP is because you have good reason to believe so. It's actually because you have no reason to believe that any vice president in America.
Trump's done is he's put an end to the wasteful spending of money in this country.
No, I didn't.
Like, dude, yeah.
Wasteful spending. I think we've been duped. I think we've been brainwashed. I think there's a reason why these elitists. Oh my God. So let me get this straight. Trump feeds you crumbs and you just pick them up and eat them. I want to give you a Bible. I want to give you a biblical story. I forgot what chapter. Don't ask me what chapter. Don't ask one verse. Just look it up. There was a king who was so greedful, so greedy, so envious. He started feeding crumbs to his servant. The next thing you know, he ended up in hell. And he started asking Jesus, why this, why that, why this, why that. And it was like, you was just basically being an ass. I know Jesus would never say that. But you know what this king asked for in hell? He asked for, can I at least have a drop of water and put it on the tip of my tongue? A drop of water. You've been giving these servants crumbs for decades, almost centuries. God will allow you. And I hate dumb niggas that say, well, it's God, I don't believe in God because God did this and God did that. Well, no. You have a responsibility to yourself. God gave you, put you on this earth, gave you a layout. Now you can do whatever you want with it. It's your choice. God gave you free will for a reason. He gave you a choice, but he also gave you common sense. Your job is to be selfless, not selfish. With Donald Trump, he is only dependent upon himself and his family. But I'm not saying he's going to end up in hell. I don't know. I can't judge him on that. I cannot judge him on that because I have my own self to judge. But due to this economy, due to the things that he has said about his own family, we ain't going to say who or what, it's not looking good for him. Fam, it's definitely not looking good for him. And for the simple fact that he would lie to the American people saying that we ended wars, the 12 war. No, you're actually starting wars, sir, with all these tariffs. You're actually starting these wars. But then again, people is like, he ended the war on terrorism. If people were to lift a finger, he lift 10 fingers. If people wanted to start some controversy with him, he'll start controversy with them right back. This is what the American people expected. They expected this man to throw a coup. No, he threw you an air ball and expect you to catch it by throwing you a curveball about the terrorists, throwing you a curveball about the war on terrorism, throwing you some, showing you his strength, his lack thereof, by sending the military troops to various cities and states, kicking the Mexicans out, throwing them to the border. Now, who's going to farm your crops? Who's going to be responsible for your crops when your shit gets low? We need to think about some of these things before. As a matter of fact, why don't we ever meet with these people before you decide to put them in office? Because necessarily, again, you're not responsible for who you vote for. You're not going to be responsible because they choose presidents 4 years in advance. I've tried telling you this before. Now look at you. Now look at the situation for what.
Yeah, dude. The Democrats function in a way where they just love to spend, just give away our money, right? Give it all away to fight wars, all of that, man. You want to know why student loans didn't get forgiven under Biden? It's because we gave all the money away to fight a war in Ukraine.
Okay, so
that's what happened there, man.
Did you know that Donald Trump has already spent more than the Biden-Harris administration spent in their 4 years? What the fuck?
Yeah, because you know that. No, dude, no.
Yes,
Ooh,
yes.
Why are we cursing at each other?
Well, I use curse words not as like a.
Why are we cursing?
I don't use them as a totem of disrespect, but rather as like a totem of like significance, right? It is like incredibly significantly stupid that you're making the argument that the Democrats like to spend more than Trump when Trump has already spent more than the Biden-Harris administration in 4 years in 200 days.
He's got to fix the mess that they left behind. I mean,
by taking money from the poor and giving it to the rich and killing people in the process by taking healthcare away from 10 million and food stamps away from 3 million.
Dean, Biden was hibernating the.
And then you go, but Biden was sleepy and old. Come on, bro. Try harder than
You don't live in reality, man.
You don't live in reality.
Just feel like how are you going to pay for all of that, man? I used to be just like you, where I used to be like, oh, let's do all these good things, and it's like you can't, right? How are you going to pay for that?
Do you think that it should be free to
you guys don't live in reality at all, man.
Should it be free to drive on public roadways, such as the interstate system? Colorado, I-70, all the way through is not tolled.
Colorado.
I-70 all the way through Colorado to Kentucky, through Kansas to Tennessee and Illinois. I-70 all the way through is not told.
It's
Barbie. How the hell do you know all this? Are you telling? You should tell. You're not telling me some things. How do you know this guy? Do you know anybody who else is like this? Who's crashing out? How do you know this guy? Yeah, but like I said, like, share, subscribe to the channel. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Trying to raise money trying to raise $20 for the next week and a half. I am grateful to all my supporters. I am eternally grateful for all my supporters. Y'all have blessed me with so much. Even my haters, you have blessed me with so much. If I can't get no haters on me for hating me for being a supporter of Dr. Umar, then I don't know what I could do. I probably would. I haven't made my decision yet if I wanted to do something next week. Monday. I probably would do something on Sunday, probably on Saturday. And I want to celebrate all of you. I want to celebrate all of you. For the simple fact, it's not just me. It's you. If it wasn't for you all, I wouldn't be in this position. Why do you support him? That's a crazy question, but I'll answer it. The reason why I support him is because I've been following him for a very, very long time, close to 20 years. Hey, Mella, how you been? Happy Football Monday, even though I don't watch football as much anymore. Because I disown the Dallas Cowboys. That was my team. They let me down for 20 plus years. I'm done with them. I am fucking done. But let's continue this.
It's very common to pay a toll to drive on an interstate road in many parts of America.
I think that it's common to pay into like a fast lane, but it's not common to pay a toll to necessarily drive on the interstate in the first place.
If I wanted to drive from a bunch of tolls along the way.
Okay. Well, I mean,
that's just facts.
So do you think in like areas such as, like, for instance, Colorado to Tennessee and all the states in between that have open and free interstates that you don't have to pay a toll in to drive, that you should be able to do that?
Sure. I mean,
oh wait, really? Where does it come from?
There's a reason why some roads you pay tolls on some roads, right? It's because how they're recovering the cost from building it.
Wait, so you'd say that like the tolls that you pay in New York are paying for my interstate in Colorado?
Alabama would be paying more than the state of New York. Like that's ridiculous.
So we see.
I'm sorry, Alabama isn't located in the Northeast. Like, what?
Okay, with 10 million low-income Americans accessing Medicaid for free.
Because free stuff is never good, man.
Nice everything in your life.
Stress me more.
You should trust. Okay, so now you're just like being like intentionally bad faith because you know you've lost the debate.
You hate on the guy every day, and like you won't ever know. Paid by the tax.
Trying to get to a point where he's talking. He was talking to some guy, and I guess they were talking about abortions or something like that. I'm trying to find it.
I'm just saying, like, I'm kind of over all that. You gotta accept Trump, bro.
And did you even answer my question? Did you even bother to answer my question? I'm interested in everything. Would you, Barbie? Would you mind sharing with me? Like, I mean, I'm trying to be hip with the cool guys. I mean, like, for real. Yeah, no, Barbie. I was talking to my cat. That was in the corner. Yes, you. I mean, could you share with me? Could you share with your bruh? I mean, this guy, people like him and Officer Tantrum, they're really interesting. They're really interesting, although Officer Tantrum, is kind of, he is so white. So right. he's right at the same time. He's right in the sense that he loves white people so much. He's married to a white woman. So hey, can we? I don't have a cat. I don't have any pets. The last pets that I had were pet fish, and they kept dying.
You don't have a reasonable argument. You just have words.
It's just like you come on here and like you hate on the guy every day, and like you won't ever acknowledge any of the good that he does. No, he doesn't. See, like, it's an attitude like that, like that divides the country. Like we don't need that.
Oh bro. Yeah, it's an attitude. Like being real. realistic in alignment with
come on here and
facts that
say he
divides the
sucks.
country.
Like, no, you come on here and
So you're telling listen, my
like,
friend.
That's the president,
Let me talk real quick. So you're telling me that when Donald Trump goes on Howard Stern's radio show and boasts about how he likes to perv on kids, that I'm in the wrong for turning around.
Oh, and by the way, he boasts on his own daughter, but let me not tell you that.
Looking at that and being like, that's fucking terrible. I'm the one dividing the country by having a negative reaction to him sexually exploiting children. I'm the one for that's dividing the country for having a negative reaction for him taking healthcare away from 66 million American women. I'm the one having a negative reaction for turning around and criticizing him for being in the Epstein files and directing the FBI to redact his name and then never releasing them, even though he promised to.
Ian, how long ago was he on Howard?
Get pushed. 20 years ago. I didn't know that condemning
20 years ago.
I didn't know that condemning like predator. I didn't know that condemning predators that sexually exploit children had a statute.
But like, it was 20 years ago. We all know the type of
actually exploited your daughter 20
You say that, by the way. I mean, bro, like, really? Come on. Like, is that all you got? Did he touch anybody? Did he do anything? No, he didn't do anything.
Oh my God.
Hit my Cash App, please. Hit my okay. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Who's gonna go to jail? Just my thoughts. Who's gonna end up in jail? Who are we talking about? I'm not worried about fuck the IRS. Nothing with them. Excuse me. Did he? These people. All right, where was I? Anybody who supports Trump to this point, to the point where if I ask you a question and you decide to be an asshole about it, or you decide to stray away from questionable question the conversations and don't even, I mean, I just don't know. I don't know. I'd just rather beat your ass with a baseball bat or something, because hasn't anybody, especially people from my era in the Gen X era, anybody who knows Donald Trump even from the millennial side, who knows Donald J. Trump like that, knows who he is and what he's about. They know who he is and what he's about. The baby boomers know better. And I'm talking about the Gen Xers. The millennials, a little bit of the same. They know just enough to very little. The Gen Zs don't know shit about Donald Trump. They don't know shit about Donald Trump. I will say it again. They don't know shit about Donald Trump. Only what they tell you. So you don't believe, and you never heard any stories, and it's on camera. What he said about his own daughter. You don't find that, I gotta pull an Umar. You don't find that suspicious. You don't find that suspicious. You don't find that suspicious what he said about his own daughter? Grab the woman by the pussy. Yeah. How this man literally has taken. You know he was a Democrat at one point. How do you switch? How do you switch within the decade? How do you switch from being a Democrat to a Republican? Or maybe I'm not looking at this very clearly. You paid a stripper to be quiet. You paid the stripper hush money to be quiet. You know, you have 31 convictions. I don't know if it's 31 or 34 convictions on your belt, and suddenly you're playing again. You open up your mouth January 6th. I think it was January 6th of 23, 24, something like that. I forgot. You open up your mouth and start World War III. All of us watched The Apprentice. All of us watched all that shit. How the hell did you end up president? It's not this. And people can speculate all they want. No, he didn't pay anybody to do anything. Black folks do love him, yes, but they're a minority group when it comes to putting them in office. The majority were white folks and some Asians and some people that he particularly likes to have lunch with, and like I said, in these $billion yachts, and with these, and be around these cult followers. How is it that you end up friends with Putin? Now all of a sudden you're against Putin? Boy. Now you're not friends with him? And you're demanding that they pay off these tariffs? Which by the way, to this day, they're getting appealed, right? All these tariffs are getting appealed. He's not stopping a war. He's restarting a war. He's not stopping a war. He is restarting a war. What does war bring, ladies and gentlemen? Think it ain't illegal yet. To all you Donald Trump supporters, shame on you. As a matter of fact, I say, how's that? Anyway. Oops. Ooh. I ain't put the damn thing in there. My bad. But like I said, all you Trump supporters can suck my dick. And I said it. I'll say it again. All you Trump supporters can suck my dick. Y'all don't even know what y'all doing. Damn shame.
Absolutely wrong.
And she's trying that dress on in a woman's dressing room, and then the pushes past you, takes his key, unlocks the door to look at her when she's completely naked without any clothes on, and then turns around and publicly boasts about how good your minor daughter's boobs look to him. Would you take that seriously? The only difference is the location.
No, bro. Like, obviously that dude's getting his teeth knocked out.
That's what he did. He owned Miss Teen USA, and when all of the teenager contestants were backstage,
it wasn't
before
Miss
the
Teen
show,
USA. It was Miss Universe.
Oh, okay.
It's
So
not
then,
Miss Teen USA.
so then, why do we have like 1 billion accounts from like 10 different of the now women who were teens at Miss Teen USA testify that he did exactly what he's described? And so
Miss Teen USA was actually Miss Universe. You're acknowledging that you.
No, I didn't make that up. That's based upon
You
the
misspoke,
testimony
right?
of the people that were at Miss Teen USA. He did this to both
Yeah,
teens
in
and
terms
adult
of the Howard Stern interview, you're talking about Miss Universe. Right?
How do you know that?
I remember the clip when you said it. I recall seeing the clip on like YouTube as I'm scrolling.
So did he say
I've seen it.
Did he
I've seen
say
it.
Miss Universe in the clip?
I can't remember. I'm pretty sure that's what he meant.
Okay. How much do you want to bet? How much do you want to bet that he said Miss Universe in the clip?
I can't recall exactly. But
I didn't hear a Miss Universe in there. Did you? My assumption would be is that he did this at Miss Universe, at Miss USA, and at Miss Teen USA. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what Trump's done.
You don't know? Okay, you want to play stupid? That's fine. Because even if you want to play stupid on this point, well, can we agree
I'm playing stupid? I don't know what the guy's done.
Can we agree that he admitted to doing that at least one of these 3 pageants?
I mean, yeah, like he's on Howard Stern.
Is it any worse to sexually exploit girls than it is to sexually exploit women?
Oh my god!
Is it?
Is
it? No, tell me. Is it? Is it any worse?
He's good. I had to admit he is good. He is freaking good.
Worse to sexually exploit girls than it is to sexually exploit women. Because in my mind, it isn't. Right? Right? So now we know it'd be just as wrong if he did this at Miss Teen USA, then it would be wrong if he did this at Miss USA, then it would be wrong if he did this at Miss Universe. Regardless of what pageant he did this at, the girl or women, the girls or women, were not consenting. The girls weren't consenting because they can't, and the women weren't consenting because they didn't. So please, are you? He defunded Ukraine on day 1, and then 175 days later, on July 11th, once he realized it was a failing approach because it disincentivized Russia to reach a peace agreement, as there's less international pressure on them to do so, he then resumed all the funding to Ukraine.
Putin wasn't behaving yet.
Yeah, because defunding Ukraine made the victim weaker, which made Russia stronger, which gave them more say to do what they want and misbehave, quote unquote. So then
I mean, he's so good. And I usually don't follow white boys like that, but this motherfucker is good. I mean, damn, he's fucking good. Damn. Oh, Shouts out to Dean Withers, I guess. Shouts out to Dean Withers. Let me see. That's and hey, full mega world explodes. All right, let's check this out. I'm looking. Sorry, this is like share, subscribe to. I was just kindly looking. I was just kindly looking because if I have to go to the source, I'll just go to the damn source. I will definitely go to the damn source. But there is one particular video that I have to look at. It's one particular. As a matter of fact, I'll go to the damn source. I will go to the damn source. Lisa, you did this to me. How dare you do this to me? Like I said, let's go ahead and give our support to Brownie Ellie. Trying to give her to 1,000 likes. And let's also give our support to Reese Waters because this dude is hilarious. He is hilarious, but he also spreads gospel, truth, the gospel. I don't know what people see in Trump. I really don't. I don't know because this is what happens. He gives you a bone. You suck that dry, and then the promise is that more and more of these are to come, and you're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and finally he comes around and he doesn't give you anything, but yet he still wants you to support him. Again, you're waiting, you're waiting, you're waiting, you're waiting, and you're waiting. So I found the source. I found the source of what I was looking at. Let's see here. And to the Carter family, suck my dick. Yes, all four of you motherfuckers. Suck my dick. To all four of you motherfuckers. There's four of you. Suck my mother dick. You support not only a alleged murderer of the country, and I say alleged murderer because he didn't murder anyone. I'm saying allegedly this country is going to die. Just think about it. Because of the tariffs, food prices are going to go up. You can't even fill up, you can't even put halfway you can't even fill up your grocery cart halfway up anymore. It used to be a point in time where you gradually fill up your cart with so much food and supplies and not be under $50. Now you can get a few things here and a few things there, and it'll be over $50. Like if you need some bread, some food, bread, some water, some meat, potatoes, fruits and vegetables, all that's gonna go over $50. Unless you know some very good deals going on, and there are very few. There are a few deals here and a few deals over there. I don't even know why I can't even express it correctly. But some people will bullshit you. Lisa, if you don't know who the Carter family is, I suggest you look them up. Because these are some there's some conservative assholes. Very conservative. These are the same people that was talking shit about Jasmine Crockett. These are the same individuals. These are the same people. And the only reason why they got put on is because they're conservative. They're not liberal. They could give a damn less about the country. They can give a damn less about who's running what. Yeah, these are the same individuals that was talking shit. They'll talk shit to Democrats all day long. But the thing about it is they don't like it when a woman is in charge. They don't like it when a woman speaks. They really don't. But I bet you if some white puss came along, you'll be glad to suck on it. Oh yeah, old Master Boss. Old Master Boss, this is the greatest ass in captivity, boss. Won't you bend over and suck my ass? Oh sure thing, Master Boss. Clip that and tell them I said it. Anybody got a problem, we will settle it afterwards. Whoop all y'all asses. You don't know who Barbie? I thought you knew who they were. You know who this cat was. How do you know who not who did I say? Let me look there real quick. The Carter family. How do you not know who the Carter family is? You don't know who the Carter family is? Wow. Okay, I'll have to play for you the Carter family in a minute. As a matter of fact, Reese Waters covered the Carter family. Yeah, it's let's see if my computer started acting stupid. Carter family, it's Cartier, not Carter. Carter. Cartier. Tier, excuse me. Tier. Tier. Let's see. I'll even put it in chat. Yeah, there's some real conservative assholes. I mean, I get it when you try. I get the instance when you're trying to do that to boost your ratings up, but when you go full conservative, that's just, and don't even know the ounces of what's going on. That's a problem. That is a problem for me. That is a freaking problem. But yeah, that's what it is. You can look them up. You can definitely look them up. But let me roll with this. Let me see if I got this up so we can continue. Let me see if I got this up. Here's the source that I was looking at.
Leftists and Democrats as elites? Wasn't that your whole thing? Was like leftists and Democrats were elites and out of touch, and y'all are the party of the working class? Isn't that what y'all like to say? But now they're unemployed. Oh
yeah, the working man's man. A working man's man is what they do. A working man's man. Days later, I'm out of a job. Fuck Trump. Oh my God, I'm out of a job. Oh my God, they took our farmlands away. I spent all this money on Trump. But he wouldn't give me anything back with interest. That's because he wanted his revenge. And also he got it. But he said, why stop there? When I could just debt the whole world, the whole United States. The only person he hasn't came at fully is Abraham Taribe. Abraham Taribe is going to kick him to the curb. He ain't worried. He's not worried about that. But let me continue with it. Follow this man, Reese Waters. He is a funny individual. He is funny, and he also knows his shit. And I want that Rodman jersey that he has in the back. I want that Rodman jersey. Don't be hating on Rodman. Please don't be hating on Rodman.
The unemployed elites, is that? I guess you can only see as far as your own personal experience. Yeah, I guess that's what, I guess unemployed elites would be the top of the pyramid for you. The more I see what ICE is offering for new agents to join, the more I'm interested. The more y'all tweet, the more sense it makes how you laughed off Nick Fuentes dropping ins.
That's the Carter family in a nutshell.
Looks about right.
You gotta be ashamed of yourself. Old as you is.
But while we're criminalizing the poor, Dean Withers had a word for that as well.
So you told me that these benefits go to people in poverty, that incentivizes people to stay in poverty. Empirical outcomes of social safety nets prove you wrong. What we see is that when low-income families have social safety nets, it makes them be less focused on their immediate needs, meaning they're less likely to just go out there and accept any job, regardless of what it's in university or through and go through all the interview processes up. This causes, low-income Americans to have more economic mobility, meaning that it's easier for them to scale their income to go from existing as a low-income American to a median-income American. I'll even give you an example. Think about it. There's a single mother of three that has to feed her children. Well, if she doesn't have government assistance, Medicaid, or anything to help her feed her children, she's going to immediately turn around and do what?
I don't know, try to find a higher paying job, I guess.
Okay, any job that is in arm's reach, meaning that she'll be more likely to accept a minimum wage job at maybe a place like McDonald's, okay? And now that we've gotten to the first base, that she has this very low paying job because it was an immediate job in reach, what is she going to do when she has that job? Because she has to feed 3 children, she's going to work a lot of hours, right?
I guess she should have thought about that before having that many children.
Okay, Devin. So now instead of you combating my point that social safety nets help individuals scale from existing as a low income,
well, no, it's just like you don't know.
1 second.
You really don't know.
Wait. Now, I'm going to go ahead and finish. So now instead of trying to refute my argument that social safety nets help individuals scale from existing as a low-income American to a medium American to a high-income American, instead of refuting the argument that they turn a positive ROI, and it is the case that this not only benefits low-income Americans but the country as a whole, your argument is rather that she should have thought about that before she had the kids. Well, I don't know. Maybe if we were not telling women that old white men and legislator have maybe if we told maybe ban forms of conscience, you thought about came up here when in all fucking a day in your life just to meet the bare necessities to provide for them and their family, and because we have rich white boys like Devin down here who don't understand a single concept or principle of macroeconomics, don't understand.
Put in the chat, let them cook. Put in the chat, let them cook. Let this boy cook. Let him cook. Let him cook. Let him cook. All right.
that it's not only ethical but also prudential to just at least accept that low-income families surviving on a couple dollars an hour to feed a family should probably pay less in taxes. And
You know, he reminds me of another white boy, but in this particular instance, he has blue hair. I forgot who he was. Some white boy with blue hair. I bet you Barbie knows. I bet you she knows.
Receive more in benefits than people who could just spend $5,000 on a new GPU, and how that actually has a positive return on our economy because these social safety nets increase economic mobility, increase average GDP per capita, and allow for an easier transition existing as an American in poverty to American outside of poverty. You don't want to hear. So what is it? Are you just a spineless, hateful, vindictive fuck who wants to do nothing but shit on poor people all day because you have absolutely no self-confidence?
We don't need to be. We don't need to be. I think that's definitely it. And while we're at it, I just need to know. Wow, Black man.
Officer Tantrum, another conservative asshole. Trump fumbled Epstein, but he's still my guy. Trump fumbled Epstein, and he's still my guy. Do I have to say it again? Remember, I don't hold shit back when it comes to this is my shit. I tell Officer Tatum too, with his 6'2", 280-pound ass. Pause. Suck my mother dick. and also I consider Officer Tantrum Yes, you see it, folks. You see it. That's what I consider Officer Tantrum. So let's continue.
Wow. I didn't think y'all were going to go all the way. Wow. I didn't think y'all were going to go down that rabbit hole. No, you got it. You. No, but Dean got something for that too.
My argument is I want to protect my daughters. My argument is I want to protect women. How is it that
Right. You want to protect your daughters, but if your daughters no. You want to protect your daughters, but if your daughter was E. Jean Carroll and Donald Trump, you still would have voted him into the Oval Office. You want to protect your daughters, but if your daughter was Katie Johnson and your daughter accused Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein of her, you would have still voted Trump into office. You want to protect your daughters, but if your daughter was a 10-year-old girl going up the escalator in 1992 that Donald Trump turned around and said he'd be dating in 10 years, you would have still voted him into office. You want to protect your daughters, but if your daughters competed in Miss Teen USA or Miss USA when they were adults and how good their boobs look, you still would have voted for him. You would have protect your daughters. But if your daughters were around and want to conceal and protect them from the American about the man, you voted them when Donald Trump has anything to do with mistreating them, abusing them, or perving on them while they were. That's why I reject all of this. I think that this is baseless virtue signaling for a man that claims to be good, for a man that claims.
This is so good. I gotta hear it again. I just gotta hear it one more time. I just gotta hear it one more time. I gotta hear it. I just gotta hear this one more time. Just one more time. Just one more time. Just one more time.
No. You want to protect your daughters, but if your daughter was E. Jean Carroll and Donald Trump, you still would have voted him into the Oval Office. You want to protect your daughters, but if your daughter was Katie Johnson and your daughter accused Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein of her, you would have still voted Trump into office. You want to protect daughters, but if your girl turned around and said, you would have still off. But if your daughters complain, you still would have voted for him. You want to protect your daughters, but if your daughters were the reason why Donald Trump was listed in the Epstein files, and then Donald Trump turned around and wanted to conceal and protect them from the American people because he doesn't want to be truthful and transparent about the man he is, you still would have voted him for office. See, I'm not willing to believe a word that comes out of your mouth about your daughters, because at the end of the day, you don't give a about your daughters, at least when Donald Trump has anything to do with mistreating them, abusing them, or perving on them while they were sir. That's why I reject all of this. I think that this is baseless virtue signaling from a man that claims to be good, from a man that claims to care about family values, from a man that claims to care about women and girls, for a man that claims to be to society, because well, it's a red line. I bet you know what the hell a member of a cult is, though.
You know what's crazy, right? You're arguing with me about family values, and you don't even have a family. You don't have.
What difference does that make? What difference does it make if I don't have a family or not? Why would I have why would I have a family even though I have one? Why would I have a family or start a family in a piece of shit world like this? But you accept the things that people toss at your feet. You accept the things of this world. When it says in the Bible, thou shalt not touch the unclean thing, you have your hands filthy, my friend. I'm talking about all these Republicans. Donald Trump threw you a bone, you picked it up and ran with it. Thou will not touch the unclean thing. It's in your Bible, right?
Kids, you don't even have a wife. I have kids. I have my wife, and you're trying to argue to me about family values.
Are you pro-life?
You're trying to argue to me about family values.
Are you pro-life?
I am pro-life.
Do you have a uterus?
I'm pro-life. Absolutely, I'm pro-life.
Do you have a uterus?
Why is this question around? What do you choose if you don't have a family?
Great, so then you can't speak about abortion unless you have a uterus.
He killing y'all, Black man. I mean, y'all gonna have to do something. he killing you. Y'all ain't looked at.
Ooh. Now that's a badass white boy. He's one of the baddest white boys since Kenny G. He's one of the baddest white boys ever since Eminem, and I don't even listen to Eminem anymore that much. You should have family values before having a family. Megas is. I mean, I don't even want to talk about that family stuff because people nowadays thinking that they have something structural in place when, quite frankly, they don't got shit in place. They don't. They really don't. People have a problem with me saying the word partner. I don't have a partner. I got a wife. Well, I know I have a wife. Duh. That's not the question at hand. That's not the issue at play. The fact of the matter is when it's emotional charge and it's emotion and I'm emotionally involved, especially with you being my wife, me being your husband and you being my wife, not only you're that, but you're a partner, you're a confidant, you're a friend, you're my best friend, you're a lover, you're my everything. That's what that statement is. We're going into you're trying to take us to the corporate stage of things in a relationship. And guess what? It's not going to work. It's not going to work. But that boy was cooking. That boy right there. That boy right there. He was cooking. He was cooking hot fish grease. I'm sorry. He was cooking some hot fish grease. Well, expect more. Expect this world to get worse. I expect this world to get worse with whatever's coming down the street. I mean, he signed, like I said before, Donald Trump signed an executive orders. If you were to burn the American flag, I believe I told you this once before, if you were caught burning the American flag, that's a year in jail. No probation, no getting out early. You're staying there for a full year. You're staying, oh my goodness, you're staying in the pen. You're staying in jail for a full year, fam. For a full year. So, I mean, there are other ways to get into some shit, but I'm not going to tell you till you hit that like, till you hit that subscribe, till you hit that cash app. Man, well, I'm about to get out of here, and because I got some things to do, especially with my child. Say he probably needs some help with his homework or whatever. But I just wanted to let you know I'm just gonna switch things up here from time to time. I mean, we can still talk about Umar we can still do Umar content. We can still talk about Umar and this and that and this and the third. Man's doing great. Man's gonna be fine. I just wish he was a little bit silent on what's up, certain things, because from here on in, they're just gonna copy and paste. They're gonna copy and paste on everything you say. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lisa. They're going to copy and paste everything you do and say. Until you open up the school, until you are transparent, that is what's going to happen. Listen, love y'all. Love everybody in here. Y'all have a good rest of your night.